can I say my friend Mac Powell, or are we not there
Absolutely.
yet?
We're friends. We're totally there. I mean, I think we've probably been there for a couple of years now at least.
I'm not sure if like there's a Waffle House visit missing before being able to say we're friends yet or something. I just wasn't quite
That's,
sure where that was at yet.
yeah. When we do that, you can say with my good friend.
Gotcha. So that's the threshold right there.
That's the threshold. Once we go to Waffle House, then we go from friends to being good friends.
So, man, this day's already turning out great. Oh man. Well, you've had a super busy year this year so far, and
Yeah.
a little over. Do you mind if we take a little bit of a look at what's happened over the last year or so?
Yeah, I'd love to. Wow. Did you take that?
I did.
Where is that?
So starting off from just a little over a year ago, this was Hills Alive in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
So this was your
Recognize
first
that.
headlining festival as a solo artist here.
That's crazy.
What was that? The biggest hootenanny or something like you're going for the biggest hoedown?
Yeah, the biggest largest hoedown in what is South Dakota?
Yep. And so
Yeah.
you had your
There's
kids
my
with you
son.
as well.
There's my son. He was playing guitar. He ditched me. He got a job and is working at a ranch in Wyoming. So
Jackson.
no, it's in way south. It's close to a little town called Encampment. So it's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Everything in Wyoming is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's true. But it's beautiful, beautiful state. But he's having a blast taking people fly fishing. That's what he does.
There's just so much of that there. I grew up in Wyoming, and we
Oh,
spent
okay.
a lot of our young marriage in Wyoming. So
Okay, yeah.
that's
Gotcha.
home. That makes me happy that he's hanging out
Yeah,
in
he's
Wyoming.
there. He's there and he's loving it.
So this is becoming a theme.
I was acknowledging you. See?
I'm not sure if it's like a hey, I'm watching you, or like a hey, what's up. I'm not sure what.
Yeah. Man, I need to get a haircut and a beard trim and lose about 15 pounds. I'm looking good there.
So this was your first headlining festival here.
I had forgotten that. That's crazy. Yeah. We had a blast there.
It was so much fun to see there.
That's
Everybody
a great
loved
shot.
you there.
That's a great shot.
And this is Matthew West. You're on the My Story, Your Glory tour.
Good.
And holy cow, I actually said that right. I was worried about that.
Yeah.
Tongue twister.
Good job. Good job.
So you hung out with Matthew for a minute.
Yeah, we had a blast. His band is amazing. I used his band for that tour, and we had a good time.
See, and
Lots
here
of
it is
fun.
again. I'm not sure. Like I'm still not sure if this is like a hey, come on, get it right.
Yeah, no, that's my thing. It's like, yeah, get my good side. See, I do a lot of pointing. That's a little advice to people. Just point a lot. People love it when you point. I've been told it's rude to point, but when you're doing a concert, people love it.
Yeah. So one of the things that I remember about that concert is I was sitting over kind of off to the side waiting for the next shot, and God of Wonders came on, and I actually talked about this with Jordan St. Cyr a little while ago.
Okay.
I was sitting there just kind of in awe, and I know you caught me there, just soaking in the God of Wonders, just that legendary, man, that's becoming such an iconic song in CCM and so many people's lives that every time that song comes on, every time you play that song live or it comes to the Spotify playlist, whatever, you just can't help but just to stop and get stuck in that moment.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, I tell people all the time, I've sang that song probably more than I've sang any. That's probably the song. And here's the other thing. I didn't write that song. It was written by a guy named Mark Bird and by Steve Hennelong, Steve Hennelong was the guy producing that project, City on a Hill. And what's interesting, and maybe I'm giving you more information than you need. I don't know if I've ever told you the story. I probably have, but I wasn't even supposed to sing on that song. They had sent that song they were doing the record City on a Hill, and they had this concept and this idea of having a bunch of different people on different songs, and they had sent it to me to listen to, and I heard it in the demo. I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's a fine song. I said, do you guys have a City on a Hill song? Because the name of the project, City on a Hill. And they said, no. I said, oh, I'm going to write that. And I thought I was going to write a much better song. I was wrong. And so we went in the studio in Atlanta. Steve Hennelong and Derry Doherty I don't know if you remember the band The Choir. They were the two main guys from The Choir.
Gotcha.
And they come down to Atlanta and recorded us. And my manager had said, "Hey, look, they're going to try to get you to sing a verse on that song, God of Wonders, that they sent you." He said, "Don't." My manager was like, "Don't sing on it. You got a song on the radio now. We got another one that's coming out. We don't need to oversaturate. So just go do your song and get out of the studio." So we record our song. I'm walking out of the studio, and Steve Henalong says, "Hey, Mac, will you sing the second verse on the song God of Wonders?" I went, "Absolutely, of course I'll do that for you," because I was a big fan of his. I couldn't say no. And so my manager got mad, and then all of a sudden the song came out, and it was a huge hit. So my manager was like, "It's okay. Yeah, good job."
That's so fun. Sometimes the things that you don't expect are going to be the ones that blow up. Just
Yeah.
you never know what God's going to do.
Absolutely. And I totally missed the boat on that one. I had no idea, but I'm thankful that he let me tag along, and be part of it still. And it basically, it was us, me, and a couple of the lead singers from Caedmon's Call had sang on it. But for some reason, it just kind of became a third day song. We started doing it live, and, I'm still doing it. I don't know if I ever do a concert where I don't do that song.
Yeah. Speaking of more concerts, we have the Caleb Fan Awards that you were a part of, that you tried to get your best Carrie Underwood impression with all the changes, outfit changes. We were talking about that a minute ago.
Yeah. Yeah. My friend Jason Crabb sang with me. That was a fun night. We had a blast.
Jason's just such a good dude.
He really is, man. Just down home, down to earth, and what an incredible voice, man. Just really, really incredible singer.
So one of the other fun things that happened this last year was there's this little place in Colorado. I think it's called Red Rocks.
Yes. Had a blast there.
Right.
Yeah, and that's you just showed a picture of Scout, my daughter. She plays bass for me, and there's my son Cash, my daughter Scout, and in fact today is Scout's birthday. She's 24 years old today.
Oh wow!
And let me tell you this story. I don't know if I shared this at Red Rocks. So when Scout was like 2 years old, when God of Wonders came out, and I had this little, like, it wasn't even a studio. It was just kind of basically a computer and a microphone in a spare bedroom that I called my studio. And so I have this vision of Scout. She was coming in, and she loved to sing into the microphone, and she was staying up on her tippy toes, and she was singing God of Wonders. She'd lift up her hand, and she'd sing, "Holy, holy." And that just now to this day, when she's playing bass and we're singing God of Wonders, I look over the side and see her singing background. I'm like, it makes me tear up just thinking my little girl is a young woman now playing bass guitar for me, and so proud of her.
So
Lord of all creation, of water, earth, and sky, the heavens are your tabernacle, and glory to the Lord on high. Everybody sing it out. God of wonders beyond our galaxy, yeah. You are holy, holy, yeah. The universe declares your majesty. Come on. You are holy, holy, Lord of heaven and earth, Lord of heaven and earth.
So someone who's not quite so cute as Scout singing God of Wonders. Not that Andrew isn't a good dude.
Yeah.
Not quite as
definitely
cute.
Definitely not as cute. I mean, he's a good looking dude, no doubt, but not as cute as Scout.
So
those are great
Andrew.
shots, man. Those are great shots.
Oh.
Ooh, look at that one.
Appreciate it.
Everybody worshiping.
So,
that's a great shot.
You didn't have any fun right here at all.
The
You
whole
weren't
night.
enjoying having Scout out with you.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. She had we go to vacation every year and right outside of Estes Park, which is not about an hour there from Red Rocks. We go every year since Scout was like 10, maybe even younger. And we were that week. 2 weeks before that show, you're taking photos of there. We were on vacation, and Scout's favorite band is the Black Keys. And so she got to go see the Black Keys at Red Rocks. And so fast forward 2 weeks later, we're on stage So of course the first time she's ever played there, and she's just going, I can't believe I get to walk on the stage where the Black Keys were playing. And then there's for
Wow.
those who don't know, and I'm pretty sure you know this, that underneath the stage there's a tunnel going from underneath the stage to where front of house is, where the mix guys are, and up the steps to go under that tunnel underground is this walkway, the stairway where everybody who plays there gets to go sign their names. And so Scout and Cash, my son and daughter, got to, and Alec, my son-in-law, got to go sign the steps, and they just thought that was the most cool thing they could possibly do.
That's so cool. I have a picture missing in here, Mac.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find it here. Oh yeah, that's it.
There we go, man. Yeah, and so with my Live from Red Rocks, I mean, you took those photos, right?
Yep.
What's that like? Have you ever had your photos on the cover of a record?
This is absolutely a first for me.
Awesome.
So I got the email on, I think it was a random Wednesday. And what's hilarious is I started getting the emails, and as this process progressed, like I'm sitting there jumping like my little 3-year-old, as excited as my little 3-year-old. My wife's just sitting there laughing at me. Just, this is ridiculous. But no, we're all huge fans of Mac Powell in our house.
Oh man,
Third Day and
Thank
Mac
you.
Powell.
Appreciate that.
So being able to not only have a photo that I've taken, on the cover of an album. I mean, I walked into Red Rock saying, "Who's the idiot who gave me a photo pass to do this?" I haven't earned my stripes yet. We
actually fired that person who gave you the credential. So.
Well, progress. But walking in, I think it's imposter syndrome. Like just walking into that moment and just being like, "This is people's bucket list." Like I haven't, and like just going from that feeling of like I was allowed to participate to getting the emails to have this photo on the cover. Like it's just kind of one of those surreal moments. Like I still can't believe this is happening. Like still can't believe.
Well,
that.
Jake, now you know how I feel like my whole career. Like I'm waiting for someone to go, "You're not supposed to be here, sir. Where's your pass?" I do feel did you ever see, and I think we've talked about this, I'm sure we have. Did you ever see the tour that I did in the fall of 20? Remember when COVID was here, and the only shows we could do were those outdoor drive-in theaters. Yeah. And I did a tour with Michael W. Smith, Stephen Curtis Chapman, and myself. And so it was the three of us on stage the whole time, singing each other's songs. And Stephen was the guitar player. We had a bass player, a drummer, and a keyboard player. So it was a small band. Yeah. And it was basically, we were a band, and I'm sitting here singing background vocals for Michael W. and Steven, and they're singing background vocals on my songs. And so it really was, even though I've known those guys for 25 years, Jake, I'm telling you, I was like the whole tour. And we did two different segments of the tour. The whole tour, I'm just looking over to my left going, "There's Michael W. Smith. There's Stephen Curtis Chapman." And I felt like they were on tour. And they brought me up to sing a song, and they're like, "Oh, there's a cute little kid. Let's bring him up and let him sing." And then I sang, and I just never left. And nobody, they felt bad for me and never wanted to say, "Hey, you're done with the song, buddy, leave." That's the way I felt the whole tour. Man. I just, even after knowing those guys for close to 30 years and being on other tours, I still feel like a little kid around them.
Man. Well, and just the imprint that you've had on Christian music legacy, the Third Day tour ended at Red Rocks. Yeah. Just those Third Day songs will forever be a part of, so many people's journey, so many people's faith. And like just even to be just the small part, nobody will know that I took this photo 10 years from now, except for, I'll know. The people around us, and Mac will know. But just from a legacy standpoint, just to be able to be just the small piece of what you're doing, and not just like, hey, a photo of mine went to an album cover, but just from these songs are going to minister to people for years to come. People are going to go back and stream this album from Red Rocks.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's just surreal. I mean, to be honest with you, we didn't even. Of course, I knew they were recording the night, but I never thought we would end up doing a live record from it. I just thought, okay, they're going to record this, they'll put it on out on their thing, and that'll be the end of it. And now it gets to live on a little bit longer by me having a live record. And we were kind of nervous for the night. There was a lot of artists, and we didn't get a lot of time to sound check, and we had not played a concert in a while, and we just thought, I don't know how this isn't going to be great, but it'll be good enough. And hope. But we go back and we listen, to the recordings. We went, man, this is actually pretty good, and got it mixed and mastered, and all of a sudden it's there, and it reminds me, in a small way, it reminds me of the Offerings record by Third Day, because when we made that record, half of it was live, and it was just previous songs that we had recorded in the past and written and recorded in the past, and just got to do a live version of it, and didn't even record them necessarily to make a live record. We just wanted to hear it ourselves and see, study the night and all those things. And as we listened through some recordings we had from multiple nights, we went, wow, this is pretty good. And this audience sounds great. And we said, well, if we write 4 or 5 new worship songs, we'll just put it out as, a record for our fans, for their closest fans. We thought, honestly, when we put out Offerings, we were hoping we'd sell 30,000 units, because the record company didn't want us to do it. They said, hey, if you put it out, it's not going to count against your contract. We'll let you do this, but it's not, it doesn't take a number off of your contract, which is a bad thing. And we said, okay, well, that's fine. We're just making it for our fans, the closest fans. And we put it out, and something happened, and it blew up, and it didn't sell 30,000 units. It sold 2 million. Wow. And really opened up the doors for us to grow as a band, because I think before that, a bunch of people just kind of especially adults, they kind of thought, well, Third Day, that's the band my kids listen to. That's, the youth band or whatever. And I think because it was a worship project, more people were like, oh, well, I'll take a listen to this. And so, the Offerings record, of course, just blew up, and it allowed us to have a great career and help really kickstart, even though it was our 4th record, really kickstart our careers. And so this record, I'm not by any means thinking it's going to blow up like that, but it just had that similar kind of feel that it's like, it's not a big deal. Let's just put it, it sounds good. Let's put it out there and see what happens. And so I'm excited that if nothing else, it just showcases some songs that the Lord's given me through the years, and some new songs as well. It showcases just the amazing audience that was there that night, because they sound amazing on this record. Yeah. And me being able to get to, share it with my kids, to have Scout and Cash and my son-in-law Alec be able to play on a record, and it'd be recorded, and have people hear them play. It's an honor. It really is.
And so for the younger crowd of us, 30,000 units, they came in, music came in these little things called CDs.
Or tapes.
And you had to sell CDs. Tapes, yeah. No. That never ceases to blow my mind.
It's dumb. In fact, with this record, I don't think there's even CDs or actual recordings of it. I think you can only stream it, and download it. So maybe I need to go get some actual CDs made and sign a few copies. Let it be now when someone puts out a vinyl, it's like a cool, thing. I need to put this out and check it out. There's this old source, this old thing called a CD, and he got them made and put them out and signed them.
Yeah. So are there T-shirts coming with Red Rocks?
You know what? I'm not sure. I don't think so, but that's a good idea.
I don't know if I was trying to sneak a little bit of a peek here or not, or what, but like a merch preview. But
yeah. I'll it's a good idea. I'm going to think about that one.
Well, Mac, as we kind of close out here, the thought, as you've gone back and looked at all the video that's come out from this, all the video that they've recorded, and just hearing these songs and all that, what was that feeling? What was that as you guys were walking out? You're there with your kids. What was that experience? Just getting to play Red Rocks, kind of starting this journey as Mac Powell, the solo artist, a little bit further down the road, having closed there, having closed the Third Day chapter there.
Right. It was fantastic.
Kind of
It brought back a lot of great memories. I think this was the fourth time that I'd played there. And Jake, I got to tell you, it doesn't get old. It really doesn't. I mean, I still went up there like a little schoolboy, just giddy and excited. A little bit of more confidence than I had the first couple of times that I'd been there, but at the same time, still just, it doesn't get old. It just knowing, and there were a lot of great friends there that night, a lot of great artists. So it was almost like a little family reunion, being able to get to see people, spend a little bit more time with them. I'd met Andrew in the past, Andrew Ribb, but to sit down and have dinner with him, with him and with my wife and a couple of kids around, and see Matthew West, and for first time being able to sit down with Corey Asbury and do an interview with him, and it was just it was a fun night and a beautiful night, and just seeing the vast amount of people that was there. I don't know what it holds. It's not a huge place. I think it's 8,000 to 10,000, something like that. But just it's very iconic, the way, for people who don't know, when you're on stage, it's very different. Usually when you're on stage, there are people, you're kind of looking down to the audience because they're on the ground and you're lifted up on stage. With this, the audience is above you, and so you're looking up and straight up to these steps, and so it's very different. It's very cool, and such a fun place.
Mac, just appreciate you spending a little bit of time here talking about Red Rocks, and it's been fun reliving a little bit of your past year here, and there's just so much gonna happen for you in the future. I know that you're actually coming through my area here in a few weeks.
Oh, great. Awesome.
To do an acoustic show, which those are absolutely incredible as well.
So much fun.
Yep. Just very excited to see where it goes from here.
Well, Jake, we've known each other for, I don't know how many years now. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate your friendship. And it's always great to see you and your family. And I guess the advice and the ask that I have of you is just, when you continue to take these photos, just get my good side, okay?
I'll do my best. I think every side is your good side, Mac.
I think it's the opposite. When I tell people that, I say, "Hey, get my good side," and they go, "Which one of that?" I said, "There's not one. So good luck."
Oh, well, just so great to see you, Mac.
Yeah, you too, brother. All right, we'll see you soon, hopefully.